Hi LEGO fans! Ever since LEGO started teasing the most detailed Hogwarts castle, releasing the boathouse, which if you believe the movies is where Snape died, and of course the Owlery, scene of the awkward encounter between Harry and Cho Chang, we've been waiting for the main event. Well, wait no longer. Today, I'm going to be unboxing, speed building, and reviewing set number 76435, Hogwarts Castle, the Great Hall, from LEGO Harry Potter. This 1,732-piece set retails for 170 Great British Pounds, 200 Euros, or 200 of your hard-earned American dollars. With many new sets dropping at the same time, it was another expensive day at the LEGO store. As well as an impressive-looking Great Hall, the set includes a surprisingly diverse roster of characters, including some which have never been seen in minifigure form before. We've got familiar favourites including the core trio of Harry Potter, Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger, the ultimate inventor of House Point, Albus Dumbledore, and Professor Quirrell, aka Quirrell. But then we have some more exotic characters for the collection. Leanne, a friend of Katie Bell who was unworthy of a last name, Slytherin Daphne Greengrass, Ravenclaw Terry Boot, Professor Septima Vector who teaches arithmancy, one of the Hogwarts ghosts, the Fat Friar, and a full-grown mountain troll which I'm looking forward to comparing to the 2002 version. Just like the real thing, Hogwarts Castle is set on rocky foundations, and this allows for a single flight of stairs which connect to the 76426 boathouse set. The rocky foundations also allow for a few secrets to be incorporated into the build. You may remember from previous years we got collectible tiles to collect. Well, this time around we have a bunch of collectible portraits. We got one with the boathouse, one with the Owlery, and we're going to find another 5 random printed parts inside this set. There are 14 to collect in total, so if I get really lucky, I should have half of them after opening this box. Over on the back of the box we get a much more detailed look at the castle. You may remember that the Owlery set was based on Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. This set takes us all the way back to Harry's first year at Hogwarts with theming from Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Apart from the minifigure's short legs, the troll in the dungeon is a dead giveaway. I love that LEGO created a modular playset of the girls' lavatory which can be slid into place alongside other removable features. The Great Hall itself looks suitably detailed with all 4 of the house banners, and I like the inclusion of clouds in the enchanted ceiling as well as floating candles. We've got a lot to cover, but before we get cracking with the speed build, let's open up this box and see what we've got inside. Here's everything you get inside the box. We've got 16 very shiny numbered bags of LEGO, a bag including 2 base plates and a pretty armless looking troll, and a cardboard wallet. That contains 2 sticker sheets, and not 1, not 2, not 3, ha ha ha, not 4, but 5 instruction booklets. I'm going to go ahead and build 76435, Hogwarts Castle, the Great Hall, and today this is going to be a 3-minute speed build. here is the one we've all been waiting for, the 76435 Hogwarts Castle Great Hall from LEGO Harry Potter. Build time was just under 4 hours, and I love the way this splits up into different sections with their own instruction booklets so you can build it with your muggle friends. We're going to start by taking a look around the castle grounds, then head inside to see what's going down in the Great Hall. I will of course be connecting the Great Hall to the boathouse, and mostly not connecting the Hogwarts Castle Owlery as it has nothing to connect to. Finally, I'll be checking out the 10 magically magnificent minifigures, and wherever possible comparing them to their on-screen counterparts. Hogwarts Castle has been recreated in LEGO a lot of times. The first time we saw the Great Hall was in 2003 in the 4709 Hogwarts Castle set. 4757 Hogwarts Castle came out in 2005 for The Prisoner of Azkaban. That's one of the rarer sets, but it's nothing compared to the 5378 Hogwarts Castle. This little rarity will set you back over $400 for a used example. You can check out the review of that and other vintage LEGO Harry Potter sets on my channel. There was a Hogwarts game in 2010, but we'll not count that. One of my favourite sets is the 4842 Hogwarts Castle from 2010, which you could extend with the 4867 Hogwarts set that came out in 2011. After a long hiatus and a conspicuous change of numbering, we got the 75954 Hogwarts Great Hall in 2018. Possibly the most impressive set to date is the 71043 Hogwarts Castle, which found a home on top of my beer fridge. 76389 Hogwarts Chamber of Secrets incorporated yet another Great Hall in 2021. Maybe you can count the 30435 Build Your Own Hogwarts Castle polybag, which brought joy to the world in June 2022. An honourable mention goes to the Battle of Hogwarts set, which provides an awesome opportunity to recreate the demise of Bellatrix Lestrange. The Great Hall is also majestically captured in the 76419 Hogwarts Castle and Grounds set from 2023. And that brings us full circle to this full-featured bad boy. Like the real thing, the LEGO version is perched majestically on top of a cliff overlooking the Great Lake. The steep cliffs include a lot of large rocky features. No, not that kind of rocky. If I counted correctly, we have at least 11 of these large rock elements. LEGO uses an interesting variety of light grey and dark grey elements, and has included splashes of sand green to give it some colour and represent algae growing on the rocks. Moving around the corner we find more greenery with trees growing out of the cliff face. These use similar build techniques to what we saw in the Owlery and also in the boathouse. Water is a little underrepresented in the build, but we do have some dark blue plates representing the Black Lake, and occasional trans-dark blue cheese slopes representing waves. At the front of the build we have a large rocky outcrop which incorporates some hinges for some reason. This creates a secret entrance to the dungeons, perfect for sneaking in a mountain troll. I like the secret tower on the front which conceals a hiding place. I'm not sure if the hidden broomstick is something I've forgotten from the book or is just there for decoration. Whatever the intention, it is sure cool to have one of the hidden passageways. On the other side we have more of the same rocky detail and a set of steps leading up to the courtyard. Countless nervous first years will have taken steps of trepidation up these stairs. I'm sure the eagle-eyed among you will have noticed the handles to which the boathouse clips. As promised, the boathouse integrates seamlessly with the Great Hall set. The Owlery, less so. There is a final rocky face on the other side of the boathouse, but it's just more of the same. One thing that does excite me is this little connection point on the back. And there is in fact a row of 4 of these, which makes me very excited indeed. Perched on top of the cliff is the architectural masterpiece that is Hogwarts Great Hall. If you did your summer reading, you'll know that Hogwarts was built around the year 993 by a wizard architect and the 4 most celebrated wizards of the age: Godric Gryffindor, Helga Hufflepuff, Rowena Ravenclaw, and Salazar Slytherin. Surrounding the Great Hall there are ample terraces for the students to enjoy. This mysterious little turret, which hides a secret, is actually the Chamber of Reception. This is where Minerva McGonagall made the first year students wait before the sorting ceremony and start of term feast in 1991. They would have been led here after climbing the steps from the boathouse. The amount of windows used in the Great Hall is truly impressive, no less than 36. Hopefully these made for some interesting viewing during the speed build. At the far end of the Great Hall behind the teacher's table is a very impressive window indeed, or at least it was until Snape broke it in the Deathly Hallows Part 2. The attention to detail throughout the castle exterior is very impressive. There are all manner of finials and turrets to feast your eyes upon. At the very top in the centre is a turret which hides a secret, but more on that later. Something that does please me is the inclusion of sand green detail, which is a nice throwback to the early sets. At the top of the boathouse stairs is where we find the viaduct courtyard and the entrance hall. I believe this is where Dumbledore rescued Sybil Trelawney from the indignity of being banished from the castle by Dolores Umbridge. I'm very pleased to see another exit from the courtyard, right where there's a connection point on the back. Of course, the most logical place to head from inside the courtyard is into Hogwarts Great Hall itself. The actual entrance hall, which is kind of missing from this set, can be found behind a pair of large doors. Above the doors we find an impressive looking clock, which is even more impressive given that it's a printed part. I love that Wizards don't comply with normal conventions and have invested in a 24-hour clock. From around the back we get to experience the interior beauty of Hogwarts Castle. The perfect place to start is of course the Great Hall. It's a long hall with an impossibly high ceiling which usually contains 4 tables, one for each of the houses. In this case we only have 2 tables, which is okay because Hufflepuffs never get invited to parties, and hopefully all of Slytherin House was expelled. At the far end of the hall, underneath the window that Snape destroys in the last movie, we have a relatively short teacher's table. This is laden with goblets of the gold and silver kind, a plate with festive decoration, and of course a chicken leg because there's no such thing as a vegan wizard. The students' tables are equally laden with goblets, plates and treats. I don't think this is a cauldron cake, but it does look like a nice red velvet cupcake. Hanging above the tables, we find the house banners which haven't yet all been changed to Gryffindor. A quick game of chess will soon sort that out. One thing I do like about the Great Hall is the accurate representation of the enchanted ceiling. It's not real, the ceiling, it's just bewitched to look like the night sky. I read about it in Hogwarts, a history. Authentic details include the floating candles, and we even have clouds coming in to obscure the moon. It's a near perfect recreation of how the Great Hall was pictured in the first movie. Intriguingly, the central beam is unfinished, and I can easily imagine you connecting other parts to this. Coupled with the connection points on the back, I strongly suspect we might get more to this set. High above the hall we have a stickered part displaying the house crest. The printing of the H in the middle is particularly janky. That's immediately below a turret which hides a secret. Hidden away up here we have the Philosopher's Stone. Created by famed alchemist Nicholas Flamel, the Philosopher's Stone was used to create the elixir of life which kept Flamel alive until he was almost 700 years old. Oh my, what the devil is that noise? Troll! Troll! In the dungeon! I thought you ought to know. Ah yes, the perfect segue to visit the dungeon. One particularly nice feature of this set are the modular rooms which can be slid into the basement. Even in this normally hidden part of the build we have hidden decorated panels. This is also where we find the secret tunnel which Quirrell uses to access the dungeons. This set comes with 2 rooms and a corridor, but you can also buy a 4th, the 76431 Hogwarts Castle Potions class. Let's start with the girls' bathroom where Hermione spent most of the afternoon crying. Frankly, I'm not surprised. The last time we saw a LEGO version of the girls' toilets was in 2002. This precious little gem is the 4712 Troll on the Loose set. The troll seems to have grown somewhat in the last 22 years. The printing has definitely improved a lot, but I do miss this little guy's hand-stitched clothing. The troll's legs, torso and head are one single element. Unlike the previous guy, the clothes are not removable, and the rumours seem to be true. The remaining appendage is attached to the body using Technic pins. He may look ugly and smell really bad, but he seems armless enough. The arms are capable of gripping objects, and the hands rotate through 360 degrees, which is quite useful. Stop hitting yourself! Stop hitting yourself! Stop hitting yourself! Stop hitting yourself! He's a nicely moulded character, and even includes some interesting detail, including the knobbly feet. Or is that edema? The mountain troll, or to use his Latin name, Troglodytarum alpinum, is the largest breed of troll, weighing over a ton. Although possessing rudimentary intelligence enough to make weapons, these creatures are generally considered pretty dumb. I really love the way LEGO moulded the hands to allow the troll to dangle a minifigure. This is a really important scene establishing the lifelong friendship, and more, between the Golden Trio. It starts with Hermione emerging from a stall in the girls' bathroom, wiping her eyes. Spotting the troll, Hermione backs away into the stalls, but the troll breaks down the doors. As Hermione starts to scream, Harry and Ron come bursting in. Hermione, move! Help! Help! Sensing an opportunity, the boys start throwing broken pieces of wood at the troll. Hey, pea-brain! With the troll distracted, Hermione escapes and hides behind a sink. Clearly upset by being hit by a piece of wood and the smell of Hermione's massive turd, the troll makes a swing for Hermione but smashes a sink. Now the bathroom is covered in water. Ah! Help! Harry gets out his wand and grabs the troll's club. As he's lifted up, he does the only thing he can think of. Mightily upset by having a wand shoved up its nose, the troll holds Harry upside down and engages beast mode. Do something! Meanwhile, the troll starts swinging at Harry with his huge club. Anything! Hurry up! Ron begins to raise his wand, and from behind the sink, Hermione waves her hand. Swish and flick! Isn't that what got them into all this trouble in the first place? Wingardium Leviosa! As he flicks, the club is lifted out of the troll's hand and hovers above its head. The confused troll is soon put out of his misery. Is it dead? I don't think so, just knocked out. Ew, troll bogies! I would have happily paid for this as a standalone set, but to get it as part and parcel of the bigger set is truly awesome. Slightly less awesome is the corridor which we get to fill the central void. This unfolds and gives us somewhere to display 4 of the collectible portraits. My set contains Damara Doddridge. She is famously always hungry and has a crush on Sir Cadogan, calling him dashing. Next we have Ivan the Terrible, complete with Owl. Needing no background story, this is Godric Gryffindor and a duplicate in my collection. Boo! Finally, this is Basil Fronzak. He was a wizard, a scholar, and a strong supporter of Ravenclaw House. He was also headmaster of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry sometime before Armando Dippet. Although I did describe this as a corridor, it may be one of the secret passages. Whatever you make of this, I don't think this is the most exciting part of the set. Slightly more exciting is this little beauty, the Hufflepuff Common Room. This is located in the same corridor as the kitchens behind a pile of barrels. That would make this position in the model semi-accurate. As any true Harry Potter fan knows, the kitchens are directly below the Great Hall. The common room can be opened up, revealing a yellow and black rug which aligns with Hufflepuff colours. In the centre of the room we find a table which is home to a few objects. Looks like one of the Hufflepuffs decided not to eat this yummy cupcake in the Great Hall. Not entirely surprising when they have herbology homework to complete. I say herbology, but this could easily be potions. I wish I could read the handwriting. I do like the cosy looking couch which is made out of 2 chairs, and the decorative greenery which adds a splash of colour. Keeping the Hufflepuffs warm as they practice honesty before glory, we have this magnificent fireplace. A couple of flame elements help to keep the room nice and cosy. Basking in the warmth above the fire we find our 5th collectible portrait. I'm beyond disappointed to reveal that this is a duplicate of Damara Doddridge. Although a nice addition to the set, this is not the first time we've seen the Hufflepuff Common Room. I believe this also features in the 76412 Hufflepuff House banner set. It's really neat that these can all be stashed away in the basement of the castle, and I can't wait to see what other options we have to swap out these modules. And so we have yet another fantastic LEGO recreation of Hogwarts Great Hall. But that is not all! Oh no, that is not all! We also have 10 magically magnificent minifigures. Professor Quirinius Quirrell, aka Quirrellmort, Arithmancy Professor Septima Vector, Headmaster Professor Albus Percival Wulfric Brian Dumbledore, Hogwarts Ghost, the Fat Friar, Leanne, our token Hufflepuff, Terry Boot, who was sorted into the best house, Ravenclaw, Daphne Greengrass from the worst house, Slytherin, and then we have the Golden Trio, Harry James Potter, Hermione Jean Granger, and Ronald Bilious Weasley. Let's start with Professor Quirinius Quirrell, who had a relatively short career at Hogwarts on account of being murdered by Harry Potter on the 4th of June 1992. He was possessed and controlled by Lord Voldemort, who coveted the Philosopher's Stone. This is Quirrell's 4th incarnation as a LEGO minifigure, and it seems to be mostly new parts. The turban, which explains the smell of garlic in the studio, is an existing mould, but this time in a new colourway, medium lavender. He stands on dark brown legs which are not printed and therefore unremarkable. The torso print does appear to be new and is a good representation of the character's costume. More printing around the back captures some texture in the robes and the tail of the lilac turban. He does of course come equipped with a wand but lacks his pet iguana. Of course the part we've all come to see is the face, which shows Quirrell looking like he's had 15 coffees too many. With a little editing magic we can turn him into the evil Quirrellmort. This is truly hideous and is a new print. Comparing minifigure Quirrell to the on-screen manifestation, you can see that LEGO has actually done quite a decent job here. Next we have Septima Vector, the Arithmancy Professor. She may look pretty laid back here, but her students describe her as a really strict teacher. Professor Vector is one of those characters which featured a lot less in the movies than they did in the books. The only appearance I could find was when she sat next to Hagrid at the feast in the first movie. The robes are exquisitely detailed and covered in metallic rune symbols. It's just a shame that LEGO can't quite get that printing to marry up in the middle. The dual moulded hat is exquisitely detailed and incorporates black hair. I don't think this is a new mould, but it's definitely a new colourway. The quality printing continues around the back and incorporates a hood for the robes. I'm just a little disappointed that LEGO couldn't slap some printing on the back of the skirt piece. We know you can do this, LEGO. The facial expression doesn't really align with the student's description of this teacher being quite strict. The alternate, however, does kind of reveal her true character. I love it when LEGO includes more obscure characters in these Harry Potter sets. Certainly for Septima Vector, this is her first appearance as a minifigure. Better still, this minifigure bears a really good resemblance to the character we see in the movie, even if it's only briefly. We see a lot more of this next character, but he does change appearance quite a lot in the third movie. That's on account of veteran actor Richard Harris dying after principal photography on the second movie. As a fun fact, Richard Harris was the first person to record MacArthur Park in 1968. If you've seen Beetlejuice recently, you'll definitely recognise the song. Someone left the cake out in the rain. This is of course Albus Dumbledore as portrayed in the first two movies directed by Chris Columbus. The hat and hair combined is not a new mould. This was used for Albus Dumbledore in the second wave of the Collectable Minifigures series, but came with more printing. It's beautifully moulded but lacks any kind of printed decoration. The same cannot be said for these beautiful robes. We have top-notch metallic printing on the front, more around the back including some really nice gold decoration, and even printed arms. Not only has LEGO managed to print most of the front surfaces, they even managed to print the back of the skirt piece. As we'd expect from a great wizard, Dumbledore is sporting a luxuriant beard. Setting the beard aside for just a moment, we get a closer look at the facial print including those gold spectacles. We do of course have two facial expressions, and this guy looks like he's about to award some points. The printed head and beard are recycled parts, but everything else you see here is new. Best of all, the character is a really good likeness for what we saw in the movie. We've had some great Dumbledore minifigures over the years, and this one doesn't disappoint. Speaking of not disappointing, we have another brand new character in minifigure form. This is the Fat Friar, the Hufflepuff house ghost. He comes with an accessory in the form of this beautiful pewter tankard. Mead anybody? The Fat Friar, in his younger and more alive years, was actually taught by founder Helga Hufflepuff. He does make an appearance in the first movie and was portrayed by Simon Fisher-Becker. Although the Friar's cassock looks pretty plain, when you shine a little light it has a bunch of metallic details. I guess this represents his glittering supernatural appearance. There's more printed detail on the back of the torso, but again, LEGO hasn't bothered to print the back of the skirt piece. All of the elements that make up this minifigure are new and exclusive, except for one little throwback. I love the fact that he goes to the same barber as vintage Ron Weasley. The facial print does quite a nice job of picking out the titular fatness of the character. Of course we do have an alternate, and I'm not entirely sure what this expression is. Well, maybe he's blowing a cup of hot cocoa. What do you think? Wrong answers only in the comments please. The Fat Friar was ultimately executed by Muggles when they caught him treating the pox by merely poking peasants with a stick. Pulling rabbits out of the communion cup also didn't help to lengthen his lifespan. It's not a perfect recreation of the character shown in the movie, but I think LEGO has done a good job with the proportions they had to play with. It's also mighty nice to get another one of the house ghosts. I think that just leaves Helena Ravenclaw to come. Moving on to the students. Students, out of bed! We find our token Hufflepuff Leanne, who J.K. Rowling couldn't even be bothered to give a last name. Leanne does apparently make an appearance in the first movie, and she's somewhere in amongst this lot. In fact, there she is. It's a lot more obvious when you're editing the video. We do get a closer look at Leanne in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. But even the shock of Katie Bell nearly dying doesn't help people to remember her last name. As you'd expect, each of the students comes with a wand in differing colours. The students are all in their first year, hence the small non-posable legs. The legs used for the female students are slightly unusual in that they're dual moulded. The printed Hufflepuff torso is new for this set, and at the time of filming, exclusive to Leanne. The back is also printed and picks out the yellow lining inside of the hood. Leanne's skin tone is a little darker than the other students, and incorporates a really cute smile with freckles. The alternate expression, it's fair to say, looks a little less happy. We really don't know much about Leanne, except she was a good friend of Katie Bell's. We don't know whether she joined Dumbledore's army in 1995, but she was certainly a member in 1997. Sticking with relatively obscure characters and representing Ravenclaw, this little chap is Terry Boot. Terry makes an appearance in many of the movies, including the first. Unlike the girls, the boys have solid black legs. This is Terry's first appearance as a minifigure, but he doesn't have any exclusive parts. The printed torso sporting Ravenclaw house colours and crest has been used 3 times before for Luna Lovegood. Like Leanne, there's more printing around the back for the hood of the robes, and these are lined with Ravenclaw blue. The hair is a common style used for LEGO minifigures and must have incorporated a lot of hair gel. The facial print is a pretty common happy or sad affair. This has also been used for Albus Severus Potter, Justin Finch-Fletchley, and Seamus Finnegan. Terry can be seen in the first movie, but he's pretty much hidden away in the background. This allowed LEGO to make the minifigure quite generic. It's nice to have another new minifigure in name, but LEGO definitely cut some corners here. Another new character in minifigure form, and representing everybody's least favourite house, Slytherin, this is Daphne Greengrass. Daphne's most interesting claim to fame is that she has a younger sister called Astoria. You might recognise her in later life as the wife of Draco Malfoy. Unlike some of the other characters, I don't believe Daphne appeared in the first movie. We get a brief look at a character who appears to be Daphne in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Every single element used to create this minifigure has been used before. No less than 7 minifigures have used this torso print, for example. The hair is very pretty and suits the character, but it has been used in 144 minifigures. Similarly, the face has been used for other characters including Ginny Weasley, Lily Luna Potter, Luna Lovegood, and Susan Bones. As well as a smiling face, we have a predictable sad face. Not quite the magical expression I was hoping for. I can't directly compare this minifigure to its on-screen counterpart, but you can't go far wrong with the Slytherin uniform and blonde hair. She may be one of the more obscure minifigures, but is definitely not an A-lister. Speaking of A-listers, we do of course have the golden trio of Potter, Hermy, and Won-Won. Sadly, none of these minifigures are exclusive to the set. The Boy What Gone Done Lived can also be found in 76387 Hogwarts Fluffy Encounter. The torso print in Gryffindor colours can also be found in 12 other minifigures. That colour accent can also be seen in the lining of the hood. The facial print, whilst being a great recreation of the Boy Wizard, has been used in 17 other minifigures. I love the alternate expression, which makes Harry look terrified. Being the titular character from the movie, it's no surprise to see that LEGO has done a great job of recreating the character. Hermione, who seems to have gotten over the earlier misfortune in the bathroom, also appears in 76431 Hogwarts Castle Potions class and 76432 Forbidden Forest Magical Creatures. She has the same dual moulded legs and skirt as the other girls. She also uses the same torso print as Harry Potter, so that will save us some time. If the face looks familiar, you'd be right. This is its 15th appearance on a Hermione minifigure. The standard expression is very cute, but I love the slightly more scared expression. I'd be scared too if that had just come out of me. Just like Potter, LEGO has done a great job of recreating Hermione from the movie in minifigure form. Last but not least, we have Ronald Bilious Weasley. Ron's torso print is different, but still features Gryffindor colours. The printing on the back also features a hood, but is slightly different. I was hoping for a facial expression that truly captures that Rupert Grint grin. My favourite of the two is of course the scared expression. It's always great to get these three together in a set, but slightly disappointing not to have anything new on offer here. Overall, it's a cracking collection of minifigures with some new and exclusive characters, and of course that epic big fig, the Mountain Troll. I think my favourite has to be the Fat Friar, if of course we are allowed to fat shame him these days. So that was set number 76435, Hogwarts Castle, the Great Hall, from LEGO Harry Potter. It's not the cheapest at $200 for a 1732 piece set, but the minifigure roster, including that big fig, really helps to make up some value proposition here. The thing I really like about this set is the fact that Hogwarts is perched upon the cliff. That definitely gives us some opportunity for expansion in the future. It's neat to see this connect up to the boathouse, and I'm keen to see what other sets LEGO might be able to connect to this. I'm hopeful we're going to be able to build out from the back. I'd love to see another version of the astronomy tower, and I've no doubt that LEGO is going to try and incorporate a Quidditch pitch into this somehow. Overall, it's a great set, and if you're a Potterhead, I would recommend adding this to your collection. If you'd like to see the earlier Great Hall sets, or other vintage sets from the LEGO Harry Potter collection, do check out the playlists on my channel. I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up, and subscribe for more LEGO Harry Potter goodness. Thanks a million for checking out the video and staying till the end. Stay safe, and I'll see you on the next video.